Hi guys, I hope your day is going well. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there today, but we're going to go ahead and carry on with an activity that we've already started. We've worked on this since Wednesday. So you know that the first step was just to read, the second step was just to circle words and to try to determine their meaning. Yesterday you guys worked on determining the main idea, and we looked at some vocabulary that we might have made connections to. So today you're going to take that main idea and you're going to begin to use the supporting details to support that main idea. So again, today our learning target is that we're going to analyze a nonfiction text by focusing in on taking notes of the supporting details. We're doing this so that we can learn something new in depth to teach it to a friend. And then you're going to know you have it today because you have analyzed a text and you're able to explain what you've learned to a friend. So the very first thing was that we read through the entire text. And we've read through the entire text a couple times, hopefully by now, and you've done the same in yours. The whole purpose of this, again, is because we're analyzing. And we know that from the poster on the board, analyzing means that we're going to take a closer look. And in our case, we're going to pick piece by piece by piece so that we really have a deep understanding and are able to teach this to a friend. So now that I've read the text all the way through a couple times, I've gone ahead and determined my main idea. And this is just a little jot. It's just a short little note. So I think the whole text is just about what happened before the war. The French and the British were messing with American boats and sailors. And James Madison, it doesn't say it here, but James Madison was trying to ignore it to keep peace. Short, sweet, one sentence or so. Your paper should have that same thing. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go read back through my text piece by piece. And I just so happen not to have the whole text here. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what I recall from the text using my pictures. So I know in the very first paragraph, it talked a lot about James Madison. And it says, Mr. Madison right here, here he is, and he's got a frowny face. Because he's very upset that the French and the British keep messing with him. And his country. So right here is a little child, and it says he's the father of the Constitution. And I'm just using that to represent the fact that they called him the father of the Constitution. And I know that the Constitution are those rules and laws set out, so it's just saying that he helped write it. So my next picture in the second paragraph, which is not here again, France and Britain were at war. I have two X's right here, and then this arrow in between shows that they were kind of going against each other. France and Britain are at war, and they're making some very poor choices. So France says, let's make a deal. Let's not get into a fight yet. Let's make a deal. We're going to go ahead and leave you guys alone. Well, that doesn't happen, and Mr. Madison is very upset about that. And what's going on is the French and British, I have the American boat right here, and that's got a star on it to represent America. And this British boat right here, their flag usually has a cross on it. So I have the American boat, the British boat, and the British and French are taking the American ships for their own and using them in their own navy. Furthermore, I know that the British are not only taking the American boats, but they're also taking the American sailors, which is very upsetting to all of the American people. It says, we people are angry. Okay, pulling that from the Constitution, showing that this is the group of Americans and they're not very happy. Now, if I were to continue reading on right here, this next paragraph goes in and it begins to talk about Great Britain not only seizing American ships, but they're also seizing American sailors, which is right here. It says they are now making them serve in the British Navy. This says, you're in my Navy now. They were also angry because in the Northwest Territory, Native Americans were attacking American settlements, killing some settlers, and driving away others. Why should Americans blame Great Britain for that? Because the Native Americans were getting their guns from the British government in Canada, and some Westerners thought the only way to stop the attacks were to drive the British out of Canada. So if I were to continue drawing, down here I might draw a picture of a British soldier giving a Native American a gun that he might use against the colonist. So go ahead and take a second to think about what you would draw for this next piece right here. It says, Congress believed more and more about war with Great Britain. Some congressmen said the United States needed to defend its honor against the British Navy. There were even people who wanted the United States to have Canada for itself, and they were willing to go to war to get it. So go ahead and take a second to think about what you would draw there. Please remember that whatever you draw on your paper needs to be school appropriate. Okay, so if you're drawing something along the lines of the United States or men trying to take Canada, or something that says Canada and people trying to pick it apart, then you're on the right track. So just remember today, you're using what you've learned to analyze a text or a nonfiction text, and so you're doing this so that you can learn something new in depth to teach it to a friend. You're going to know you have it today because you will have added, will have analyzed a text by adding pictures, just like I have, and words to your text, taking notes on the supporting details. Once you've completed this task on your notes, so your notes now have blue circles on it, it has a green main idea, and now it's going to have light green pictures down here. Once you've done that, then you're going to go to Canvas. And in Canvas, down at the bottom, you're going to find a Google Slide template. It says Connecting Events. There's no way you're going to be able to work in Canvas, so you're going to want to make sure that you open it up here. Try to do this quick. So, going through here, my title is Madison and Peace. I do not recall the author, and your text does not have an author either, so go ahead and just move on from that. Then it wants me to type keywords for the different events that I find in my text to help connect them. So the very first thing that I know is that I have Madison, the president. Madison, the president, wants peace. And as he wants peace, he is ignoring what his people want. He ignores the fact that all this bad stuff is happening. So the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and type in So he wants peace, Madison, president, peace. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and type in is the fact that France and Britain are seizing. Ooh, my spelling is not very good today. It's early. They're seizing American ships. Britain is seizing sailors. Okay, so just a short, quick, sweet note on what's occurring in the text. Nothing super long. So in the beginning of the text, Madison is the president. He really wants peace between France, Britain, and America. All right, but that's kind of hard to achieve because France and Britain continue to seize the boats. So furthermore, they're not just seizing the boats, but Britain is seizing sailors. I'm going to go ahead and move that from here because I know that's a second idea. Okay, so Britain is seizing sailors, and because of that, the Americans are very angry. So the Americans are angry, the Britain and France are seizing their seizing their boats and sailors, and James Madison, the president, is ignoring it. Because he wants peace. Okay, so I would continue on this. I might add something about how here he tries to make a deal with France, but they don't keep it. I'm just going to use my words from the text. Let's make a deal. So, because of all of this going on, the Americans are ready to go to war. And the text wraps up and it talks about the group of people that are ready to go to war. So my text kind of ends there, and another friend is going to pick up. Using this text on Monday, I should be able to explain to another person exactly what I've learned about. So Madison, the president, he wants peace between France, Britain, and America, but that's kind of hard because France and Britain are seizing American ships. Britain is also seizing sailors, which is a huge problem, and it's really causing a lot of Americans to be very angry. Madison's ignoring this whole situation. He's like, nope, that's not happening. We made a deal with France. France is like not doing that, but they really are. So the Americans are ready to go to war as a result of all of this. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to make sure that I share. Right here, there'll be a button that says like submit. Make sure you click submit, and it asks you to make sure you click submit up here as well. Once you've done that and you've clicked submit, then you're done with your task for the day, and you are making sure that you are independently reading. And the Friday group may go to the library once they've asked the sub there. So today, make sure that you're taking notes on what you've learned after you've analyzed your text.